Joining us now are two boys. Well, one dude actually from inplayLIVE. His name is Andrew Pace, and he's brought along live testimonial Brandon Kyler. Brandon and I go back some time. Steelers fan, so we're not going to hold that against him too much, I don't think. But yeah, so Terry, these guys, they are going to change not only our lives, but the lives of our listeners with a different take on sports gambling and how you can make money watching sports, the thing that you and I love to do the most, obviously more than exercise, because look at us.
Yeah, because all I do is gain weight and lose money gambling. So this is perfect.
Yeah, it's our two favorite things. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like pizza and gambling debt is it's on my LinkedIn.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
See, I'm the CEO of gaining weight on my LinkedIn. That's what it says.
Yeah, so pretty much, Pete. So I reached out to you because so recently I joined this membership. Okay, so it's called inplayLIVE. All right, I joined it on August 19th. It was during the Stanley Cup playoffs. So what happened is, once I joined this program, basically what the program does is it teaches you sort of a different mindset towards sports gambling. But me, what's really cool about it is I was never a big sports gambler at first. So I would do predictions. You guys know the predictions on Mise au Jeu there, where you have to choose like.
I won $17 once because that's how many people won.
Yeah.
I picked all the favorites that week.
Yeah, well, I think I won 13 out of 14 one time. That's the closest I got. So anyway, that was the closest for me to when it came to betting. So what happened was, I found this Facebook ad, okay, and it was Andrew's inplayLIVE membership program. So what I did is I signed up to it. At the beginning, I was like skeptical and all, like everybody, because everybody, there's a negative aspect when it comes to gambling, you know what I mean? So for me, when I first saw it, so the way it was sold, it's called sports value investing. So I thought that's pretty cool. So I decided it was around 65 bucks a month. So I signed up to it. I was like, okay, it's worth the risk. If at worst, I'll cancel, you know what I mean? So I signed up. I followed Andrew's strategies, and honestly, this was September 19th, which is 2 weeks into football season. I already made $10,000. I only spent $500 on Bet365. So basically, what it did, it was just like, it just changed my life completely. So me, what I wanted to do is to reach out to you guys, because I want to get it out to our community, because it changed my life. I know that you guys are deep in sports like I am. We grew in the league for a while now. So I wanted to have Andrew on this podcast. I wanted to reach out to you and let's get it out to everybody.
That's awesome, man. I mean, Andrew. We're speaking to Brandon. I don't know if we introduced him. So Brandon, that's you, and we just heard from Brandon, and we have Andrew, I guess, CEO of inplayLIVE, or you work for inplayLIVE. What's the status there?
Yeah, so I guess my story, just really quickly, guys, not to drain all your time up on the podcast, but
take as much time as you want, buddy.
All right. Appreciate it, man. Thanks so much for having me. So, I've been sports betting probably, as you guys can all agree with yourselves, for over a decade. Kind of like what Brandon said, it starts with a few buddies making some parlays and some predictions and picks on a Sunday. And just for me personally, I was kind of came from an investment background, and I just hated losing. And when it comes to sports betting, that's what they're designed to do over time. They're super fun, super exciting, can be super addictive, but ultimately, they're there and they're designed for the sports books to make money off of us over time.
Vegas always wins, right? We hear it all the time.
Yeah, exactly, right. So a light bulb kind of went off when it came to applying value investing strategies to the world of sports. And one of the best analogies that I like to tell people about is a roulette wheel. Everyone's gone into a casino before and they've placed a bet on a roulette wheel before. There's 18 red spaces, 18 black spaces, and oftentimes there's 1 to 3 green spaces. And those green spaces, they act as the vig. Black and red technically are not a coin flip because of those green spaces. So when you place money on red or black over time, it doesn't matter which one you pick, you're going to lose money. And in the world of sports betting, what I like to kind of have people imagine that you walked into a casino and for whatever reason, that particular day, 90% of people were betting black. And so much so that the casinos decided that they wanted to actually mitigate their risk. They wanted to not have so much risk on paying out the people that bet on black. So they actually make red more favorable to bet on so that it doesn't double your money, but maybe, you place $100 on red and you actually get $120 back. And that's precisely what happens in the world of sports betting, is that the public favors a certain side so much so that Vegas and the sports books will actually mitigate their risk by making one side of the game actually theoretically profitable, from the standpoint of it being better than a coin flip to hit. So if we have, say, the Kansas City Chiefs at home playing the Jets, the public might think that the -10 line is too soft. So they'll bet the Chiefs, bet the Chiefs, bet the Chiefs, bet the Chiefs, to the point that that -10 line might actually end up at -14. And when that happens, the theoretical pregame coin flip was actually at -10. So if we can grab the underdog at +14, theoretically, you can make money over time. And what I actually did, everything I just explained there was a pregame sports betting philosophy. And what I did is I went, if this can happen pregame, how can I take investment philosophy and apply it to in-play betting? And that's when my life completely changed. So I was able to take a very small amount of money and turn it into hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars. So this season I started with $10,000 and I'm up over $125,000 since the start of the season. And honestly, what the real breakthrough for me wasn't actually doing it myself anymore. I knew that I could do it successfully on my own. A lot of people think what I say is too good to be true, but the real joy in it has been people like Brandon, where we started this company 4 months ago, and we didn't know if it was going to work. And now we have a whole series of people like Brandon who can come in here and say, hey, I took a couple $100 and turned it into over 5 figures using our philosophies. So really what we set out to do was just to kind of take guys like yourselves. Like I myself am in a touch football league. We play every Sunday morning at 7:30 a.m. before the games start. I play quarterback. So
wait, they make it 7:30 in the morning now?
Yeah, well, we're on the West Coast. The games start at 10 a.m. here, so we have to be done, showered, clean,
oh my God, no
ready
kidding.
to go,
Yeah.
right? But I play quarterback, so if you guys are ever looking for a below-average quarterback in your league, let me know.
Pease is a way below average quarterback.
I'm the most below, like I'm even below average. So yeah. I'm twice as bad. So
he said below average. You're a below average. So maybe we should bring on Andrew.
There you go.
Because then what do I do?
Yeah, but honestly, that's like our group of friends. I looked at it and I was like, if I'm successful enough at this, I think it's something that deserves to be shared, so that people, like Brandon and like yourselves that love sports, you don't need to make a primary income from it, but you can at least stop donating, part of your paycheck to the sports books every single Sunday, right?
Sports interaction
special, absolutely.
Yeah.
So Andrew, what I'm getting, and obviously it's going to be more complex, and you have your system, and I'm happy that I didn't have to get a teaser out of you, because sometimes we get someone who wrote an article or someone who has something that they want to sell, but they're so scared to give a bit of that information away. But that's how you get people involved. That's how you get people to buy in. So I'm happy I didn't have to do that for you. What you're talking about largely, and I'm sure there's more to it than that, is you're looking at line movements, right? Because you're looking at to see where the money is going, and because Vegas, as Terry started the interview with, Vegas always wins. Vegas will move against the money, and then essentially you're siding with Vegas to a degree, right?
Yeah, that's definitely one of the strategies that has been profitable for me, and definitely something that I look to do. But I would say that that's kind of scratching the surface in the grand scheme of what we're actually doing. If you wanted to take that same analogy to a whole nother level, imagine, you know what, I'll just give you an exact game. 2018, the Dallas Cowboys were playing the New York Jets. The Dallas Cowboys line opened at -6, and by the time kickoff happened, it was -10. 90% of the public's money was on the Cowboys. So every sharp pregame sports bettor, these are guys that make a living, they all had the Jets at +10 against Dallas in that game. What I was doing in that particular game was actually not only seeing the amount of pregame money that had moved the lines in play, but also during the game as the Jets were beating the Cowboys. Guess what every degenerate Cowboys fan does? Right? Dump more money on Dallas. So not only they were dumping more money on Dallas. So not only did some of these pregame professionals have the line I like to call it a boring 1.9 or minus 110 line before the game started. Not only did they all have that, which was a winner. The Jets won the game and they covered the spread. But from an in-play standpoint, they maybe profited 1 unit at the end of that game. Whereas in that game, we can oftentimes profit as much as 20 or even 50 units just in one game from capitalizing on all those people continuing to favor Dallas throughout the game and getting really sharp in-play props and lines throughout the game as it's happening.
So February 5th, 2017, Super Bowl 51, third quarter, Atlanta's up 28-3. You're taking the Patriots.
I can't see who just asked me that question.
Wait, it's our producer. He's in the background. He's not good. He's not good looking enough for TV.
Exactly. He's not as pretty as us, so he's off camera. He's off camera. Exactly.
So one of our core philosophies, we actually call it the comeback, and that's where we look for momentum swings on the money line for teams to come back. I had New England in a big way in that Super Bowl, but there was actually a tremendous amount of value in another New England Super Bowl that we're not referencing right now, and that was the New England Patriots against the LA Rams. So Brandon knows this all too well. One of our chapters, we refer to what the fans hate, but we love. And everyone the next day after that Super Bowl was talking about what a shitty game it was. And it was so unbelievably profitable for us because everyone's hoping for a really high scoring, where the favorite covers type football game, and when it's going the other way and the ball isn't moving, we're right there capitalizing on not just the plus and the under, but every single play in between.
I see that, but I've often said this, and I believe this to be true. If you bet the under, you're a terrorist.
I bet the under twice last week. I lost both because I'm a fucking idiot.
You're terrorist. Right,
and on to that same note, guys, with this whole COVID thing, there's more points in the NFL than ever. So one of the biggest things that we do is we constantly adapt.
Mm-hmm. Of course.
But boys, listen. But boys, we don't honestly. It's rare that we touch that stuff, pregame stuff. We honestly just do. We do a lot of in the drives. We just watch the games in the drive as the game is developing. So you have an edge. You guys know the game, right? So you just sit down, you watch the game, you foresee what's gonna happen. You have your book in front of you, and then we just strike. That's what we do.
I mean, Brandon, you're saying that we know the game, but I'm a Dolphins fan. He's a Cowboys fan. We obviously don't know the game that well. Brandon, so we gave you guys the opportunity definitely to tell us about the product, and it is absolutely interesting. And we're gonna get back to the end of the interview, but we're kind of a stupid show, so we need to engage in some stupidity with you guys. Otherwise,
I have one question.
We're gonna get smashed on Twitter. So I'm gonna just start with one, Terry, and then you got the next question.
I actually have a couple of questions.
Brandon, what did you spend your 10K on? How much of it was strippers?
And how much of it were those TVs in the background?
So I made like 40K. So my first 10K went to my wife. My second 10K, it's still in the bank, and the other 20K, waiting to be spent.
The bank is a weird
TVs.
name for
We need more
strippers.
TVs. Bring them on.
So I have
stupid question. Let's go.
My stupid question is how can this help my golf game?
No, baby.
Nothing? All right.
Oh, no, man.
Whose question is that for?
For Andrew. If I use this concept, can I shave 10 strokes off my golf game? That's what I really want to know.
No, you're going to have way more fun golfing. The world of sports betting opens up your eyes to betting on every single thing that you could possibly fathom. And golf is just so much more fun that way. We've bet on, shotgunning per hole based on making putts, skins with every extreme example of anything you could possibly bet on, right?
My wife doesn't know this, but my day of golfing consists mostly of bets. Like for the amount of strokes I take, you'd think that that's the thing I'm doing most often. No, it's making bets. Andrew, what's the most degenerate bet you've made in your life?
The most degenerate bet. Anything when it talks to degenerate bets. I was telling this story actually today on our In Play Live podcast. I had a 20-pick teaser last year, 2 years ago. Down to the final pick, and it was Miami Dolphins. So who's the Dolphins fan?
This guy right here.
Miami Dolphins against the New England Patriots. I needed New England to cover 3.5. They're up 5 with the ball with 2 minutes left. They punted it back to Miami with how many seconds on the clock? 10?
Yeah.
5?
Not much.
Miami Miracle. I would have won 14,000 on that teaser, but the Miami Miracle got in the way.
See, my most degenerate bet was I was highly inebriated with a friend. We ordered a pizza. My order was make it happen, and I gave him 3-1 odds that it would be all dressed over pepperoni, and pepperoni came in, unfortunately. So it's what it is. It wasn't a huge bet, but that's the most degenerate bet I've ever made.
So I'll tell you my degenerate bet, then I have a question for Brandon. My most degenerate bet is, on Sports Interaction, I don't know if you're aware of the website, but they have this thing called Piñata Picks.
Piñata Picks!
Yeah. So the Piñata Pick, I've done it a couple times, and I won once. I put $10 down. It was a UFC fight, and it was like Khabib winning in the 4th round by submission or something. And that's what I got. That's what I gave me, and that's what they won. So I won like $1,000 on it. It was 101 to 1. And then I did one where I put $100 down because I'm a fucking moron, and it was Donald Trump getting 89 to 91 electoral college votes. So I'm an idiot. So I just wasted $100. These are because I was being a degenerate. I was trying to recuperate some money. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna make a quick buck here, 10K, and I was gonna bounce, but it didn't happen. I wanted to be like Brandon.
So you can chase Oregon's late game, but if you're chasing like presidential elections, I think that's a whole other level, Terry.
That was crazy. What were you saying, Andrew?
I got to say 2 things to that. Number one, with the Piñata Picks. And this is going to make all degenerate sports bettors feel a little bit better about themselves. There are certain ways to keep your account open. When you're a winning sports bettor, you are not loved by the sports books. We're quote unquote bad customers, and they get rid of us quickly in certain circumstances. Taking bad bets like that teaser I just told you about and the Piñata Pick, those things actually keep your account in good order. So that's really awesome. Number one.
So it's good to do it. All right, there you go.
Yeah, there you go.
The problem is, Terry, that's all we do.
Number 2 is the election. With our course, we actually cashed in huge on the election, not on the winner. But when you learn enough about different books and different opportunities, and especially things that the sports books aren't used to handicapping, we were actually able to get Trump to win a whole bunch of states at like 2.5 to 2.7, plus 150 to plus 170 in American odds, and Biden on another site at those exact same odds on those same states. So literally that's like walking down the street, seeing a $100 bill and picking it up off the ground. Yeah. So it really, a lot of our philosophies, they apply actually universally across, not just across sports, but elections, finance, stock market, etc.
So Brandon, my question to you is, what was the game that you bet on? What was the amount where you're like, I'm sold for inplayLIVE?
For me, it's actually, I'm sure you guys know him now. It's Travis Fulgham. So after Travis Fulgham, so with inplay, it's funny. You guys are big fantasy stars. So what's gonna happen is if you do join the community, you're done with fantasy. It completely is it changes. It's the completely opposite of fantasy. So like when I'm with my brother, he's voting for his fantasy guy. But me, we're voting for the guy, like the show, like Come On Man or stuff like that.
Yeah.
The guys that we look for before it happened. So for my guy, it was Travis Fulgham. So just Fulgham in general, I think he made me like $7,000.
Oh, wow.
That helps no one. That's who we're looking for.
Yeah, pretty much it.
Yeah, exactly. That's crazy. I mean, so the concept works. And Andrew, you're an actuary. Did you study math, or because you said you were in finance, right? So what did you study?
Yeah, I was in finance before. I did investments with a whole series of different corporate and individual and family clients. Just teaching the basics of how to get your money into the stock market and grow your money over time. Not anything crazy as far as like day trading or options or things like that, but a lot of like Warren Buffett type value investing, long-term type things. Yeah. Really boring stuff.
I'm sold.
I was like, the thing I liked most about Warren Buffett was he invested in Dairy Queen back in the day because he liked ice cream and thought Americans like ice cream. Eagle.
The logic.
You have any stupid questions?
My stupid question might be more of a smart question, actually. So,
don't believe
Andrew,
you.
You seem like a smart guy, but I don't think you're a prophet in this, right? Someone had figured this out ahead of you. So why inplayLIVE? Like, give me the 30-second elevator pitch.
What's actually interesting is the entire sports betting industry is actually geared towards selling picks. So there's a lot of guys out there that charge as much as $500 per individual pick. And the best pregame sports bettors in the world, they have a 3% edge, which means a 3% perceived profit over time. So actually, there isn't really a whole bunch of people doing what we're doing, at least from a business standpoint. So we're kind of the first company to do, we have a masterclass on sports investing. And the masterclass then comes with live streams with me. So you can take what I'm wagering as I'm taking it, and a whole community of people educating each other. So most people are just teaching you, selling you fish as opposed to teaching you how to fish. And I think that's our biggest differentiator in the industry.
So like that movie with Matthew McConaughey there, what's it called? Two for the Money, whatever it's called. So you're talking about those guys, that's what they were before. Those are the guys, the pregame bettors, the 3%ers kind of thing?
Tipsters, they're everywhere, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, we get a lot of those.
Yeah,
for sure. And so that's cool. Honestly, it's really interesting. I love the approach. It's something that I've used to a small degree when it comes to gambling. Like we said, we talked about like the hedging and the betting on line movements and so on, but you guys really take it into the next level when it comes to in-game betting, and that's why you guys are in play live. That was Andrew Pace and faithful testimonial Brandon Kyler. Really happy to have you guys on. We're always looking at ways we can engage our fan base and get them to just explore different things and try out different things. And definitely gambling is part of our viewership for sure. So I'm sure they appreciate this input. Thank you guys for joining us today.
Thanks so much, guys. Appreciate it. If anyone has any questions, feel free to reach out anytime. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
I will have one.
Go get it, Terry.